What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Ali Fusha podcast. So, you guys clicked onto this video, you guys clicked onto this episode because you want to find out how much a Filipino fitness YouTuber makes on YouTube. But before I get into that, one thing I do have to share with you guys is something that I really hate: clickbait. And unfortunately, you guys got clickbaited into this video, but please do not click off right away, because something I do want to share with you guys in this episode is that in the past 6 or so months of me being a Filipino fitness YouTuber, is that one thing I've learned is that clickbait matters so much. And I know that sounds cringy to a lot of people, because of course people want have some integrity, like don't lie to your audience, and I feel for that. And trust me, I'm if you were to ask me like which part I would side for, it's definitely going to be that. But then you can't just immediately discredit the people that do use clickbait or titles or thumbnails that are very eye-catching or like clickbaity, like to use the phrase itself, because no matter how great of a video that the YouTuber, the influencer, the content creator, or like how great the video is, if the title, if the thumbnail isn't good, then no one's going to click on it. And that's just the unfortunate truth. So there has to be a mix sometimes of between like a good and healthy clickbait or like a respectable clickbait. And I'll be the first one to say that this clickbait that I wrote down for you guys, that's absolute trash. I hated that I'm using it, but it's just to prove my point. You guys are on this video or in this podcast episode because you saw that and you were like, oh, how much does a Filipino fitness YouTuber make on YouTube? But unfortunately, I know that I'm not that comfortable with sharing that private details, and I know I added the blurry image on the thumbnail, but unfortunately that's not what I wanted to talk about. The things that I did want to talk about in this episode would be how it is, or like how my experience with being a Filipino fitness YouTuber. Sorry, I just keep on doing quotation air quotes for that because it just feels weird to say. Some people introduce me as that and I'm like, what? No, I'm not. I'm just a coach, dude. I'm just a coach that posts stuff online. But then some people that don't know me for who I am, like in person, they call me a fitness YouTuber, Filipino fitness YouTuber, which is definitely weird. And another thing I want to talk about is of course, how sucky COVID is, how sucky the entire pandemic was for the entire 2020. There have been some plus sides, and especially within the Filipino fitness industry, not necessarily in YouTube or Instagram or social media. I just want to talk about the Filipino fitness industry and how excited I am and what might actually happen in 2021, 2022, because things are actually really picking up. But yeah, those are the main two things: my experience as a Filipino fitness YouTuber and how I'm perceiving things to be and how excited I am with regards to the Filipino fitness industry. But anyway, all right. To talk about how it's been for the past, I'll just say 6 months, because that's when I started becoming active again, even though this account has been active for like how many years, because I kept on giving up before. But yeah, with being a Filipino fitness YouTuber, it was really weird at the start because nobody did it. But of course, and I mean, not a lot of people did it. If you were to search Filipino Pinoy or like Filipino fitness YouTuber, I think the guy that will come out will be Jacob Alava. I've never met him. I've only seen, of course, his accounts, and I'm happy that there's somebody that has a channel that has over 100,000 subscribers now. The topic is Filipino fitness, and that's absolutely great because it's not there. But again, from what I know from the sphere, like the powerlifting, strength scene, or like, general strength and conditioning scene, the small circle that I'm part of here in the Philippines, there's not a lot. But to go back to my experience, it was, just weird because not a lot of lifter Filipinos, like Filipino lifters, Filipino gym enthusiasts, actively watch somebody from their country, from the Philippines. Because if you were to ask me, the past 5 or 6 years of my own research online has definitely been from the US. US or like other countries, but primarily from the US. And it's cool because, of course I get to learn from different people all around the world. But then you realize that it's kind of sad that, wait a minute, why isn't there a a governing body or like a group of people or like multiple groups of people in the Philippines that is as big on social media on YouTube, Instagram, and of course there are people that are like rising up, definitely, and I'm happy about that. That's later on in the video, but at that time, of course, and I'm pretty sure all my powerlifter friends, like bodybuilder friends, are going to agree that all our resources, or like let's say 98% of our resources came from abroad and not here. And that's sad, because like, why can't you learn from your own countrymen? So I'm happy and of course discouraged at the same time when it comes to making a Filipino fitness YouTube channel. Happy because, oh, not a lot of people do it. It might be a great niche, right? And it's something that I'm actually interested in. I'm not gonna make a YouTube channel about architecture or medicine, even though those are great fields to be in. I don't have the capacity or the knowledge to be able to do that. So of course, Filipino fitness is what I'm going to talk about. So that's the happy part. And then the sad part is because, as I mentioned, who that's such a niche thing. Why would a Filipino watch another Filipino? And of course, some people might say, oh, language barrier, like relatability. But with regards to credibility, I know for a fact that a lot of the Filipino actual powerlifters, bodybuilders, and like other lifters in general would rather look at or like hear from or learn from somebody from the States. And that's the sad truth about it. So that's why, being a Filipino fitness YouTuber, you have to realize, or I had to realize that, damn, I'm not gonna get as much views unless you clickbait. And that's the sad thing. But you realize, I keep on saying sad thing, but is it really a sad thing? Because that's how the platform works. You're posting videos online, and I don't know how many videos are being posted per second or per day, definitely in the millions or like hundreds or thousands. How can you make your video stand out? I'm not going to sound like I'm such an expert, because obviously, to those who have been following this channel, you guys know that the majority of the subscribers that I have only come from this one video I had, the PewDiePie workout video that I had. For some reason, I mean, of course, I knew that it was, a lot of people was gonna click on it. I didn't know it was gonna reach, at this moment of recording, like I think it's at 930,000, like close to a million. And since I am mentioning that already, just the other day, I'm looking right now at my YouTube analytics, that I have now accumulated 1,005,196 views so far on my YouTube channel. And of course, I'm really, really, really happy about that. Obviously, that's just a number on the screen, but just makes me feel great that, oh, I've reached that many people. And again, majority of it are from people that probably just like PewDiePie, and that aren't really, Filipino fitness enthusiasts. And so like in that million, let's just say like maybe 1,000 of them were Filipino, or like let's say 2,000. Nonetheless, I'm happy that that happened. Of course, it was unintentional for it to reach that high, but I guess that's how YouTube works. You just don't know how much it's actually going to work for you or not work for you. And I guess that's why I started by talking about clickbait and my own decision making, my discernment with regards to how much clickbait I am going to use. It's still I'm still thinking about it, because of course I believe that I make great quality, or like great is too strong for too like self-praising. I believe I make good videos. Videos that can really help the Filipino market. Of course, it's definitely niche. It's not general as much as I did before, but things are about a bit more niche, like powerlifting or bodybuilding, but more in powerlifting, of course. But yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, so I was really thinking about how much clickbait should I use, and that's still something that I'll have to learn, since I've already been doing this for a couple of months. I plan to do it for a couple more months or even years, because it's fun. And I do understand, like if I were to look at my own videos, it's kind of sad to see that only one video has like, it's in the 6 digits, like 900 plus thousand, and then the other videos are around 30, 15,000, 3,000, then the others are probably in like the mid hundreds. Of course, I realize, like, if you were to compare it to 930,000 views, 500 views is very, very small. But then you realize, I guess, one thing that I had to remind myself in the past is that in each video I make, and I guess this is kind of like to help motivate other people out there who's thinking about whatever YouTube channel they have. And again, I'm not saying that I'm a success story. I'm just saying how I think things are or should be. Is that if you were able to change one life, or change like one person's perspective through your video, or you were able to enlighten or enrich somebody's life, or give value to at least one person, then I think that's a successful video. So even though if it's like 10 views, 100, 1,000 views, 100,000 views, if you're able to change people's lives, or at least one person's life, help them and enrich them, then I think that's a successful video. And I'd like to believe that almost all my videos, again, this is just me going under assumptions based on the feedback and the comments that I would get from a lot of people. So I think it's doing good. And that's a mindset that I really had to train myself to have, because a lot of people, or sorry, a lot of people, in the past, a lot of the time, I'd be super number oriented, and I didn't get into YouTube to be like a famous YouTuber or whatever. I got into YouTube because I wanted to share a lot of this knowledge, and I like talking. I guess that's why I'm doing solo podcasts, because, and not, and that's why I'm doing this, because, I enjoy it. And I feel like in the Filipino fitness, like in the Filipino fitness scene, it can be used. Of course, not everyone's gonna watch this video. Not everyone's gonna reach to this point in this video, how many minutes that it has been already. But the fact that I'm still posting, I think that at least one person can benefit from it. And I think that's what everyone should, that's the mindset that everyone should have. If you're able to help somebody, then that's amazing. And that's why I'm sharing with you guys. I feel like I'm gonna keep on doing this because it's fun, dude. Like, to post about fitness, which is something I like, to talk about fitness, which is something that has become my livelihood. It's an amazing thing, and I really insist that everyone to do it as well. Obviously, don't make it your full-time job, unless you're like 1 million subscribers or 500,000, whatever. But it's fun. I'm not pressuring you guys. I'm not saying that everyone should, but whoever is thinking about it, just give it a shot, and don't be so number oriented. It's just do it for the fun. Do it for whatever your why is, which is I want to help people know how to plant plants better, how to do DIY better. For me, I want to make more Filipino fitness enthusiasts think about their programming, their nutrition, more than the basic stuff. I would believe so. But anyways, that's me talking about my experience with the fitness, being a Filipino fitness YouTuber. And the reason why I'm so excited about, like, of course, again, 2020 sucks, and I'm pretty sure here in the Philippines until 2022, things are not going to be as great unless, there's a miracle with the vaccines, etc., that it's easily accessible to everyone here. But until then, there are a lot of great things that have happened already in the Filipino fitness scene. Because of course everyone's stuck at home, then a lot of these suppliers, distributors for home gym equipment have been booming. To drop a few brands that I was able to collaborate with, that would be Caveman MNL, Prime Sport, Leader Fitness Equipment, and of course to some extent Iron Supply and Mayhem Fitness. I'm really happy that there are a lot of brands that are coming up to really help the Filipino people to lift better, to have better equipment, more affordable equipment, and that's just great. Obviously, there have been suppliers in the past, but it's just great to know that, because I personally know everyone behind these brands, and they're all great people. Everyone just wants to help more people to have access to a great barbell, great plates, great squat rack, or like great dumbbells, etc. So it's just nice that people have more options now, because going to the gym, that's an option that not a lot of people are still willing to make right now. So again, I'm super duper excited. And of course, sorry, another brand that I missed, but it's been alive before the pandemic, would be Booty Bands. It's a brand that sells, like elastic bands, hip circles, and a lot of people, especially the female market, have been purchasing a lot of them, and they're able to work out at home. This is great. So with regards to the Filipino fitness scene, it's starting out and it's been growing significantly in the past year, and I'm excited to see what 2021, 2022 and onwards has in store for everyone. And with the Filipino social media scene, there have been a couple of people, aside from me, that have been doing really, really well. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier in the video, we have Jacob Alava, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, man, but he's been really successful, and I hope that he keeps on doing it, because I'm pretty sure he knows this already, that he's been able to help motivate and enlighten a lot of people with their workouts, with their nutrition, and that's an amazing thing. I'm not sure if he's doing that full time, but for the fact that he's able to dedicate time for everyone viewing his videos, that's amazing. And of course, there are a lot of it. I'm pretty sure. Okay, I think a lot is too much of a stretch of a word, of a term, but I'm sure there are a number of other fitness channels out there. But the fact that me, somebody who is within the fitness scene already, is not that familiar with a good number of Filipino channels or accounts that are within the same sphere. That makes me excited for more people to come, because of course we want more and more what do you call this, outputs, perspective to join. And aside from this podcast, there is the Kinetics Lab Strength and Movement podcast. It's great that they were able to do it as well. I'm pretty sure because of the pandemic, there were things that what do you call this, kind of course, maybe scheduling to perform the podcast wasn't as easy, and that's of course that's a fact. And the new podcast that came along would be from the Fit One and the Buke Powerlifting. So those guys I know personally. I'm excited for them to continually create content and for people to have more options, because for me 5 or 6 years ago, before I started, when I searched, everything was from the US. And now, as we all, and sorry, another guy, Ernest Santo Tomas, great funny guy, very very charismatic guy, and knowledgeable as well, and he looks amazing. I'm just happy that there are more channels that are readily available for the Filipino public, the Filipino people. Because example, as I was alluding to, 5 or 6 years ago, if I were to search for fitness advice, everything that would pop up on YouTube would be people from the States. Right now, 2020, 2021, maybe and onwards, if somebody search for advice without even searching explicitly Pinoy, I'm hopeful that somebody, when they search about how to work out or how to eat this or how to track calories, I'm hopeful that a Filipino channel will be the first thing that will pop up on their search, just because they are Filipinos as well. So it's great. I'm really, really excited for that. And I hope that everyone that does start becomes a bit more consistent. And I know I am guilty of this, of course. Again, this is not my full-time job, so I have other stuff outside of. I definitely have other stuff outside of this. So it's really up to us to make the time to be consistent with it. But I just really hope more and more people upload more and more content, because I think that's a really, really great thing. And I know if you have been watching my podcast or listening to my podcast in the past, I am known to be very, very redundant, and this 20 or so minute episode, I know, is over and over again. But nonetheless, I'm hopeful. This year has been crap for the most part, but there have been silver linings within that crap of a year, and I'm excited for the years to come. But anyway, if you like this kind of rants, or actually not even a rant, if you like this kind of monologues of me not having any friends to talk to, then I would highly insist that you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it as well. And I will do my best to link everyone that I mentioned, all the brands, all the personalities that I mentioned, down below in the description. All of them are worth a follow and worth like taking some time to listen to what they promote and listen to what they talk about. Okay, anyway, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, do all the shit. Peace.